What's up, Internet? JD Nitro here, back to bring you another As Seen on TV product review. That's right. Some of y'all thought I wasn't doing As Seen on TV products anymore. Well, clearly you were temporarily insane. Let me bring you back to reality, because today we're taking a look at the Copper Chef Wonder Cooker. That's right. We're heading back into the kitchen on this one, so let's get it. Oh yeah, new As Seen on TV, Copper Chef, in a box so big I can barely fit it into the frame. Yeah, this is the three-piece set that includes a roasting pan, grill pan, and tempered glass lid. Recipe cards included! Exclamation point! Yeah! And it features the Ceramatech Nonstick coating. I, and I alone, will be the judge of if it is non-stick or not. Round on the back here. Pretty standard As Seen on TV product packaging. It's not a bad box. Pretty decent packaging. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, now that I've got that situated a little bit better, a little more comfortably seated in the frame, we have a little literature. Some important notes to read before using. A user guide, which I will read later. And a recipe card. You get 2 recipes. Is that it? Is that all the recipes you get? Apparently so. Now you'd think they would throw in a few more recipes, but that's neither here nor there. I've got some recipes. The tempered glass lid in all its reflective glory. You can see my studio lights and you can see my reflection. Hi guys. Copper Chef right there. Steam hole, very important. Here we have the roasting pan, and it is quite deep. Quite deep indeed. I think you could easily fit two 8-pound, maybe even 2 10-pound chickens in there. There's the bawoo. Wow, that is very reflective. You guys can't see this because my camera is on automatic and is reducing the glare significantly. That is a very shiny bottom, but it does have a plate which makes it compatible with induction cooktops, so that is always a plus, and because I happen to have an induction cooktop. And we have the grill pan. Not too deep. Nice deep ridges though. Very nice. And another very bright reflective bottom. Not too bad. What is this? What is this? Hold on, I need to examine that off screen for a second. Okay, so after a moment of examining the grill pan off screen, I have immediately found an imperfection, 2 imperfections in fact. I'm not sure how well you guys can see this as I get closer. You might be able to see it, but that is a chip. There is a chip in the Ceramatech copper coating, right away we're off to a bad start. And if you look close right here, and as I feel this, this is an imperfection in the coating. It's almost like when the coating was sprayed onto the pan, a drip, a buildup of coating happened right here, and they didn't go back and smooth it out. So right off the bat, I'm questioning the quality of this product. This is unusual for me. I don't normally discover a con right at the start, right when I unbox a product. That is most assuredly going to piss me off in just a few short minutes. So, that is what comes in the box. The only question now is, does it work? So what are my thoughts on this piece of cookware? I am honestly impressed. It is truly non-stick, which is absolutely shocking to me because not too long ago, I reviewed the Copper Chef skillet, and to summarize that review, it was less than non-stick. You had to have a little bit of butter or a little bit of oil in the pan to keep the food from sticking. And yes, I did follow the instructions on how to season the pan and how to use it properly. It just wasn't non-stick. Well, apparently someone at the Copper Chef headquarters saw that review and they made some significant changes to the chemical composition of their non-stick coating because, as you guys saw in the demonstration, this thing is truly non-stick. I mean, the steak was cooked beautifully, had a nice sear, and all I had to do was wipe it out with a damp towel when I was done using it. This thing is truly non-stick. So let's dive in face first to the pros with pro number one. It's truly non-stick. I mean, you guys saw it. A nice New York strip onto the grill surface, beautiful sear, wiped clean, perfectly non-stick, what you would expect from a pan that, or in this case, a grill that says it's non-stick. Fantastic. Pro number two, compatibility with induction cooktops. The magnetic Ooh, that's super bright. The magnetic plate here allows it to be compatible with induction cooktops and portable induction burners. That's a huge plus because it's kind of hard to believe, but in the year 2019, there are a lot of cookware companies that put out cookware that is not compatible with induction cooktops. So, a side note, by the way, for people thinking about upgrading their cooktop, consider induction, because I have an induction cooktop, I have a portable induction burner, and I really enjoy using it. I mean, I prefer a gas stove, but if you can't have gas, if you have to go electric, go induction, because it's fantastic. Pro number 3, the size of the pan. As you guys can see, this thing is deep. I mean, deep. Okay, I can easily put 2 chickens in here and still have room for all of my herbs and spices, so that is a big plus. Pro number 4, which is kind of a clone of pro number 1, but I'm going to include it anyway. Easy to clean. When you have a pan that is this non-stick, cleanup is super easy. However, it's not all champagne and strawberries for the Copper Chef Wonder Cooker. It's got a couple of problems. The first of which, con number 1, reared its ugly head during the unboxing process. Lack of quality control. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but right here, there's an imperfection in the coating and a chip right there. Now, it was like this when I unboxed it. This is a big deal because clearly Copper Chef's quality control game is not on point. Now, I understand the laws of mass manufacturing. When you're cranking out units by the thousands, there's gonna be a few lemons, a few that have minor imperfections, but there should be a standard of quality control on the assembly line before this item gets to the packaging department. Someone should have eyes on it. Someone should be looking at it. Someone should be inspecting it to make sure that this doesn't make its way to the customer. Now, it's not a major deal breaker in the sense that it doesn't affect the usability of the product. Well, that run doesn't affect the usability. The chip right here, that's another story that I'll get into in a moment. But in this instance, it's on the handle. The interior cooking surface is fine, but that right there is very irritating to me. So Copper Chef needs to step up their quality control game. Con number 2, and this is the big one, the big old biggin that is going to affect the final score of this product. Because in all honesty, guys, I was ready to sit in front of this camera and give this product a perfect 10 out of 10 after 1 week of using it. I'm really glad that I put a little more time into testing it, because I've been using this product for 6.5 weeks. That's right, over a month of testing, and halfway through the 2nd week was when the major problem reared its ugly head. The coating is chipping. Look right here, you see that? The copper coating is peeling off of the outside of the pan, not just in one little spot. This spot developed after a 1.5 weeks of use. On the other side, this one developed at the 3-week mark. This one developed at the 5-week mark. The coating is peeling off. Now, I don't know if these were simply weak spots that developed during the coating process. The coating didn't bond to the metal properly. But this is a major concern because anytime you have a pan with any type of coating on it, it doesn't matter what the coating is. If it's Teflon, which is pretty well been phased out at this point, if it's ceramic, if it's copper impregnated ceramic micro coating, or however Copper Chef describes this coating, whatever the coating is, if it starts to peel off, that becomes a foreign contaminant to whatever you're cooking. It becomes a physical contaminant, and that is a major problem. Now, fortunately, the coating on the inside of the pan has not cracked, has not peeled. The interior coating is fine, but on the outside, it's peeling off. Now, again, I don't know if this is due to Copper Chef not having proper quality control. I don't know if this was a case of the coating just didn't adhere to these spots, so these areas became weak spots in the coating. I don't know if there's issues with the chemical composition of the coating itself. These are questions that I can't answer. All I know is based on my time spent with the product, the coating is peeling off. Now, I know that some people are going to ask this question in the comments. Did you put it in the dishwasher? Maybe it's not dishwasher safe. To answer that question, actually, no. I have not put it through the dishwasher. When I'm in the kitchen cooking, things like my pots, my pans, my knives, my cutting boards, I wash these things by hand. I don't put them in the dishwasher. So I have no idea why it would be peeling, especially because I didn't use any type of abrasive cleaner. I didn't use a scouring pad. I just used a sponge with my regular dish soap. But this is a major problem that Copper Chef needs to address. There's no reason under the sun for a nonstick coating to be peeling off after 6.5 weeks of use. That is ridiculous. Price point, price point, price point. I actually picked this up at my local big box store with all the other As Seen on TV products for about 40 bucks, which is not bad. But all things considered, unfortunately, it gets a final score of 5 out of 10, which it's just unfortunate because it does work. It is truly non-stick and therefore a joy to use, but I cannot recommend this product based on my experience. The coating is peeling off. So, to the folks at Copper Chef, you guys need to get your quality control game on point. Final score, 5 out of 5. Do not buy this product. And that's going to do it for this product review. I am the one and only JD Nitro. Liking, commenting, subscribing, and turning on those notifications is the official order for doing things. And as always, thanks for watching. I'm out.